Al Franken, of course, is one in Minnesota, and he's the 60th senator that could vote with the Democrats, that's in their caucus, 58 Democrats, 2 independents. And so immediately the Democrats were backpedaling. And so they should be celebrating, right? They got a filibuster-proof majority. But obviously they're scared to death of that because then they have to deliver. And if they don't deliver, they don't have any more excuses. And the Democrats love excuses, right? So yesterday, immediately, there were reports out saying, oh my God, this doesn't mean we're going to get anything done. It doesn't mean it at all because we need more than 60 senators because oftentimes we lose a lot of our centrist or conservative Democrats. So no, don't expect us to do anything. Part of it I get. They want to lower expectations. Part of it is somewhat true. The other part of it is they are scared to death that they're going to be held accountable, which they should be. So the guy who is not afraid of that, who I think had some great things to say, is Bernie Sanders. He comes out and he wants to set the agenda, and he wants to establish the talking points that are going to help Democrats get things done rather than hurt them in getting things done, because he actually cares about the policy and accomplishing it. So here's what he says, Senator from Vermont. Quote, I think that Al Franken coming on board, you have effectively 60 Democrats in the caucus, 58 and 2 independents. I think the strategy should be to say, it doesn't take 60 votes to pass a piece of legislation. It takes 60 votes to stop a filibuster. I think the strategy should be that every Democrat, no matter whether or not they ultimately end up voting for the final bill, is to say that we're going to vote together to stop a Republican filibuster. And if somebody who votes for that ends up saying, I'm not going to vote for this bill, it's too radical, blah, 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 that's fine. Do you understand what he's doing? This is great. This is genius. This is exactly right. What he's saying is, look, I want an up and down vote. You remember when the Republicans were in charge and they screamed up and down vote, up and down vote. So if you are Ben Nelson or Mary Landrieu or Dianne Feinstein from California and you're concerned about the public option in health care, okay, great, then vote against the bill. But you should definitely allow the bill to have an up and down vote. If you're a Democrat, and we have 60 Democrats in our caucus, effectively, and you don't even allow a bill to get an up and down vote, well, that's an obvious betrayal of your constituents. And you can't be any more reasonable than Sanders saying, look, all we want is a vote on it. Are you telling me as a Democrat you're not even going to let us vote on the public option? Please don't tell me you're telling me that. That's exactly how it should be framed. And that's how Obama should frame it. And Bernie Sanders, look at this. Remember, he was in Congress before, in the House before. Now he's a senator. And him being a senator makes all the difference. Because even one strong progressive can at least set the agenda and head us in the right direction. As I've told you before, the public option is everything in health care reform. Because as Sanders points out later, he says, oh, they're going for bipartisanship, but bipartisanship for the Republicans means watering down the bill so that the private industry gets richer. And that's exactly what they want to do. They want to do universal coverage and say, oh, we did a concession. But who's going to get benefit from the universal coverage? Private insurance. And it's just going to be funded by the government. And then that's going to require more taxes. And all that is necessary because we do need universal coverage. But then they will turn around and say, oh, you see that? It costs us more in taxes to cover everybody. And meanwhile, their guys made all the money. That's the scam that's being run here. And Sanders is calling it out. I love what he's saying about this. And everyone should be held to account for up and down votes. Now that you got 60 senators, no more excuses. You can vote against the bill, and we're not like the Republicans where we say, no, you got to vote with us every single time on all the issues. But you got to at least let us have the votes. That's inarguable. So we hope that people are listening to Bernie Sanders. And, you know, he understands the politics of it, too. And I'll get to a Lieberman quote here in a second. But let me finish up with Bernie Sanders. He says, I think that politically that is something that everybody can handle. You say, look, I think there should be a vote. I'm going to vote against it for A, B, and C reasons. But I think the process has to move forward. And it's unacceptable that the Republicans keep trying to stop everything. The White House could play a very important part in this process. I think it would be great if we could have 100 senators voting for this. But what is important is the product that you can get, not bipartisanship. So we should ask Republicans to support it. If they choose not to, they do so at their own political risk. The focus should be on a strong bill trying to get Republican support rather than a weak bipartisan bill. Impossible for me to agree more with Bernie Sanders. That's exactly right.